Okay, here we are. It is now time to math out. Okay, we've got Brenda and Chansey here watching me make this video, so this ought to be kind of interesting. So for everybody else, what we're looking at is the second part of our video series where we're going to look at creating an absolute value function. So everybody, we're going to be making a y equals absolute value of 3x minus 6. So I'm going to go through all the steps, and this is everything you need to know for pretty well almost this whole chapter whenever we're making functions. So we'll look into all the parts, how we make the graph, how we do that flipping we were talking about earlier, and then also how to make that piecewise function. Okay, so let's start right off. We're going to go through all the different steps. So step one. Step one, what we're going to look for is the x and y intercepts. So in a way what we're doing here is we're analyzing the graph. We're trying to take a peek at it and see what do we do if we're trying to find the x or the y intercepts. So let's start off right away with the x, okay? So we'll start off with x-intercept, x-intercept. Now, where does the x-intercept happen? Along that y equals 0 line. Absolutely. So what we're looking for is when y equals 0. Now what's neat about this, now here's the special thing about it, and you've got to pay attention to this, we can ignore the absolute value when we do this. We totally ignore it. So really what we're saying is, let me see here, actually I'll keep my blue, I'll make that an arrow. We're going to say y, so the y is 0 equals 3x minus x. I just totally take away the absolute values. This is what I do. It works fine. So then what happens? Well, I start playing around. I go, okay, well, I can move the 6 over, right? So 6 equals 3x. And then x equals 6 divided by 3, which is 2. So x equals 2. So then I can run over and say, oh, okay, so I'm going to be hitting at right here. I know it's going to be there. That's my intercept. Okay, fine. Now what about my y-intercept? What is 0? My x is 0. Now here's the thing though. I have to keep, in this case, let's make the note here, I keep the absolute value function when I'm doing this one. So it's a little different. I'll make a line here, just so you can, okay. So we're going to go y equals absolute value of 3 times, hold on, it's not 2, because I'm not looking for the intercept. I'm looking for the y-intercept. Where does the y-intercept happen? At x equals what? X has to be 0, so therefore it's 3 times what? 0. Minus 6 absolute value. Notice I've kept it. So now what do I get? It equals 3 times 0 is 0 minus 6. So the absolute value of negative 6 is what? 6. So I go, oh, that's odd. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got another point over there. Okay, so now I've got the 2 intercepts. So I'll take, let me change my color so we can see, okay, so we can see all this. Step 2. What is step 2? I have no idea. Oh, sketch the graph. Okay, so in this case what we do is we sketch y equals 3x minus 6. Notice, not the absolute value, I'm sketching the function without, just like we did last time, just without. So what does that look like? 3x minus 6. Okay, well, what's the 3? 3 is my slope. And negative 6 is my y-intercept. So we should be able to draw that pretty easily. I'll draw that with a yellow line because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 starts here. And then it goes up by what? 1, 2, 3 and over by 1. 1, 2, 3. Oh, hits there. Good. 1, 2, 3 and over. 1, 2, 3 and over. Now I can draw a nice happy line. And so did I draw that right? That looks about right. Feel good? I feel good. So that's not the function, of course, but I've drawn without the absolute values. So now what? Now what do I do? What did I do last time, I guess is the question. Do you remember what I did? Step 3. What did I do with this function that I drew last time? Anybody remember? What did I do? I flipped, absolutely, I flipped the negative y's values. So where is it negative? Well, from anything lower than x equals 2, right? All this is negative. So what's that look like? Well, well, I'll draw a few points, won't I? This is negative 3, so now it is positive 3. This is negative 6, and it's, just like I said it would be. Just like I said it would be when I did the y-intercept. I said it would be 6, there it is, just like I said it would be. And then I got, this looks like a negative, what is that, 9? 1, 2, that makes sense. So then if I drew this, but let's not forget that this is still exactly the same function. So really, my function looks like that big V, just like I expect. It's been slightly stretched, but that's basically what it is. So now I've actually got a graph of my function. It looks like that. Hooray, I'm done. So if I had to look at that, let's look at a few other things we can do. I'll use white now. First off, step 4. We're going to do a full analysis. So step 4 would be where I would check out what is the domain and what is the range. So the domain is my x's. What x's are allowed? Is there any x here that is not allowed? Is there anywhere where I wouldn't be able to use an x? This thing seems to be going on forever to the right, and this one seems to be going forever to the left. So I would say probably not. Sorry? All x's are allowed. So x such that, how do I do x's are all allowed? X is the set of all real numbers. Exactly! Okay, so now the only thing different here, now I got to ignore the yellow because really the purple is my true function. The range is not every single y, is it? No, so what's my boundary condition here? Greater than or equal to 0. And I have to include what y's are. Don't want to forget that. And y's are also the set of all real numbers. Absolutely. If I had to say this properly, that's what I do. Now, let's pick another color. This is an awesome color. This is a very colorful lesson. Step 5. Step 5 is basically, can I write out the piecewise function? This would be the last thing I would need to do, or that you would be asked to do. So all these things, really what I'm doing here is, this is everything someone could ask you if I said, here's an absolute value function, and I could say, give me the x-intercept, or the y-intercept, or sketch the thing, or give me the domain and range, or, lastly, write the piecewise function. So I know it's going to be y equals gigantic bracket. So the question is, what are these two functions? Now remember last time one was x and one was negative x, so I've got to be a little careful here. So what I want to do is I want to be able to figure out what these different graphs are. So this one, I should know what this is already, shouldn't I? Because this is just simply the same line I drew in the first place. And what was that line? It was this guy. I graphed the yellow line. This is nothing more than 3x minus 6. So when does that happen? Y equals 3x minus 6 if what? What does x have to be? It has to be 2, yeah, not 0. Over here, I've actually got something happening, don't I? It flips. When does it not flip? Right here at x equals 2. So x has to be what? Greater than or equal to 2. And I'm good. Now, slightly harder part. What is this line?
It's negative.
It's negative what? So how do we say it? Negative what? Could we say negative of negative y? It's negative y. Okay, let's say that. It's the, sir? Negative of the whole thing. And that would give me a negative 3x plus 6. So I'd get a positive, that works out, a negative 3 slope, a positive 6 intercept. So I could say, and look, it's beautiful. Just say negative outside of it. Therefore, I don't even have to think. Just, I'm giving a negative to the whole function. Because once again, when I say function, all I mean is the y value. A function of x is another way of saying function. If I say, here, I'll put it down here, function of x is the same as saying y. And what happens to the y's? The y's become they're becoming negative y's. So here's a negative of the y, which in this case is 3x minus 6. If x is less than 2. And that's it. I'm done early. It's only 11 minutes. So let me see. What else do I tell people at home who have not been in my class? Check out both videos. Be ready for tomorrow. I have nothing else to tell you. I hope you enjoyed your, where did everyone go? With Miss Williams. I hope you had a good time today. And tomorrow, or perhaps I'm going to see a lot of people after school, because this is Tuesday when you are supposed to show up, even if you went on a little trip. Okay. That's it. See you tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.